There's a battle that every human being fights, every single day, a battle that no one else can see. It's not fought on a field, not with swords or guns, but inside the mind. It's the war between who you are and who you want to become. Every morning when the alarm rings, that battle begins again. One voice whispers, "Stay in bed, you deserve to rest." The other voice, softer but stronger, says, "Get up, your dreams are waiting." That's the voice of discipline, and if you learn to listen to it, it will change your entire life. Discipline is not a punishment, it's the ultimate form of self-love. It's saying, "I care about my future so much that I'll suffer a little now." When you force yourself to be disciplined, you're not fighting against yourself. You're fighting for yourself, for the life you deserve, for the respect you've been searching for the greatness that lies quietly within you. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Motivation. Motivation is a beautiful liar, a fleeting visitor that arrives with a burst of energy, igniting your mind for just a moment. It creeps into your life disguised as a powerful speech, a movie montage, a quote glowing on your phone screen, whispering that today is the day you will change everything. For a brief instant, you feel invincible, unstoppable, as if nothing in the world can hold you back. But that feeling is fragile, delicate as a candle in the wind, and almost always, it fades. The fire it gives you dies quickly, leaving you cold, uncertain, and questioning your own abilities. Motivation is temporary, a spark that dances and flickers, brilliant but short-lived. Discipline, however, is different. Discipline is a slow-burning flame, steady and unwavering. It does not rely on emotion, mood, or inspiration. It is the quiet voice that whispers, "Do it anyway." It is the inner force that pushes you forward when your body aches, when your mind protests, when everything inside you screams to stop. Discipline feeds on consistency, on repetition, on the tiny, almost invisible victories that you stack one after another until they grow into unstoppable momentum. It is the fire that never dies, a flame you build with every choice, every action, every morning you rise when you'd rather stay in bed, every page you write when your mind wants to wander, every step you take when your legs beg for rest. When you are motivated, you move because you feel like it. You wait for the surge of energy, the rush of inspiration, the perfect alignment of stars. But feelings are unreliable, fleeting. When you are disciplined, you move because you have decided to move. You act even when you don't feel like it, even when the world seems heavy and your body resists. Discipline is not swayed by mood. It thrives on mindset. It is the invisible force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. The truth is harsh, yet liberating. The world does not reward those who are motivated only when it feels good. It rewards those who take action every single day, regardless of mood or circumstance. The athlete doesn't wake up each morning brimming with excitement to train. Sometimes every muscle aches, every bone resists, every thought cries, "Stay in bed." Yet they rise. The writer does not always feel inspired to pour words onto the page, but they do it anyway. The soldier may not want to march, may not want to endure the grueling hours of training, but they do. They understand the secret. Action comes before feeling. You act first, and the feeling, the pride, the satisfaction, the inner strength follows. Stop waiting to feel ready. That day will never come. You will always find reasons to delay, to postpone, to hesitate. The perfect moment is a myth. The only way forward is to start, even tired, even scared, even unsure. Force yourself to act. Take the first step, and the fire of momentum will grow. The feeling of unstoppable energy will catch up with you, but only after you have already begun. Discipline is not waiting for inspiration. It is the courage to act over and over again when no one is watching and when your own heart tells you to quit. Chapter 2. The Enemy Within. Motivation is a fleeting visitor, a beautiful liar that arrives with a rush of energy, lighting up your mind like a firework in the night sky. For a brief moment, it makes everything feel possible. You feel unstoppable, invincible, as though nothing in the world could ever hold you back. It sneaks in through a powerful speech, a stirring movie scene, or a glowing quote on your phone, whispering promises of instant greatness and effortless change. But that fire is fragile, delicate as a candle fighting against a storm. Almost as quickly as it comes, it fades, leaving behind cold doubt, uncertainty, and the gnawing question, am I really capable? Motivation is a spark, brilliant, exciting, and intoxicating, but sparks are temporary. They dance and flicker, and then they die, leaving you to confront the harsh reality of your own inaction. Discipline, however, is an entirely different force. It is not a momentary flash, not a burst of excitement. It is a slow-burning flame, steady and unwavering, that continues to glow even when the world tries to extinguish it. Discipline does not rely on fleeting emotions or bursts of inspiration. It is the quiet, persistent voice inside you that murmurs, "Do it anyway," even when your body screams in protest, when your mind begs for rest, and when every fiber of your being wants to quit. It is forged in repetition, strengthened by consistency, nurtured by the tiny victories that no one sees, the early mornings, the extra steps, the pages written when your mind wants to wander, the hours endured when every muscle aches. These small acts stack upon one another, building a force so unstoppable that it becomes unbreakable. Discipline is not a momentary blaze, it is a fire that never dies, a flame that grows stronger with every conscious choice you make. The hardest battle you will ever fight is not with the world around you, it is with yourself. Your mind is a battlefield, and the deadliest enemy hides within your own thoughts. It whispers softly, seductively, "It's okay. You can do it later. You've done enough. Take it easy." That comforting voice, seemingly innocent, has killed more dreams than failure ever could. Every time you obey it, you strengthen it, letting weakness grow. But every time you resist it, every time you push through the pain, every time you say no when every instinct says yes, you build your strength, you sharpen your willpower, and you take control of the most important battlefield in your life, your own mind. The truth is both brutal and liberating. Discipline is not about silencing that lazy voice, you will always hear it, but about refusing to obey it. It is about becoming the commander of your thoughts, the master of your actions, the unyielding force that moves forward even when everything inside you says, "Stop." You cannot hope to conquer the world, to rise above your circumstances, or to achieve the greatness that whispers to you in quiet moments, until you have first conquered yourself. Until you have tamed the chaos inside, disciplined your impulses, and learned to act despite fear, doubt, and fatigue. Nothing external can ever be fully within your control. Chapter 3. Pain is the path. Pain is not your enemy. It is your fiercest teacher, the one who whispers truths you cannot learn anywhere else. Every great transformation, every profound growth, is born in the furnace of discomfort. Your body strengthens only when it resists, only when you push past exhaustion and fight through the ache. Your mind expands when it wrestles with struggle, when doubt and fear push against your determination. And your soul grows in suffering, in moments of quiet despair, in the nights when tears fall and hope feels distant. Yet the world we live in tells us the opposite. It tells us to avoid pain, to seek comfort, to chase shortcuts, to drown ourselves in instant gratification. And because so many listen, so many settle for mediocrity. They trade growth for ease, potential for convenience, and dreams for comfort. But here lies a brutal and liberating truth. If you want a life that feels easy, that is smooth and soft, do what is easy. But your life will be hollow, ordinary, and unfulfilled. If you want a life of greatness, a life that ignites admiration and self-respect, you must do what is hard. You must embrace the struggle, endure the discomfort, face rejection, and walk through the storms of life. Only then will the path become easier. Only then will mastery replace struggle. Only then will your growth become unstoppable. The moment you stop running from pain, the moment you stop fearing discomfort, growth begins. Every failure, every heartbreak, every challenge you once cursed is revealed as a guide, a sculptor shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and unbreakable. And when it hurts, when your muscles scream, when your heart aches, when your spirit wants to give up, don't quit. Stand tall, take a deep breath, and whisper to yourself with pride and defiance, "This is the price of greatness." Because it is in these very moments, when the world is heavy on your shoulders and life demands everything from you, that you are becoming extraordinary. Chapter 4. The Small Steps Principle. Discipline is not born in a single day, nor does it appear like magic overnight. It is not the result of grand gestures or heroic feats. True discipline is forged slowly, patiently, through countless small victories that, at first, seem insignificant. It grows one deliberate choice at a time, quietly, almost invisibly, like roots spreading beneath the soil before a mighty tree emerges. Wake up just 5 minutes earlier than yesterday. Push your body to do one more repetition than it wants. Read one additional page when your mind begs for distraction. Learn to say no when the world tempts you to give in. These acts may seem small, trivial even, but each one is a seed, a brick, a silent act of courage that strengthens your character. At first, progress feels invisible. You may wonder if it's worth the effort, if these tiny actions truly matter. But over time, they compound. Every act of self-control adds up, stacking quietly until one day, without fanfare, you will look up and see a fortress of strength built from decisions no one noticed. Decisions you made when no one was watching, when your will whispered, "Keep going." Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a single day and underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. That is the paradox of growth. The secret to lasting discipline is not intensity, not bursts of heroic effort, but consistency, the steady, relentless pursuit of small, meaningful actions repeated over time. So start small. Start today. Even a single tiny step forward is worth more than the grandest intention that never leaves your mind. Begin where you are, with what you have, and trust that these seemingly minor victories are quietly transforming you, shaping you into someone unstoppable, someone who will one day look back and marvel at the wall of strength they built, brick by brick, choice by choice. Chapter 5. The Habit Loop. Discipline is not about doing everything flawlessly or about achieving perfection in every moment. Discipline is far deeper than that. It is the art of building systems that quietly guide your actions, even when motivation fails, even when willpower wavers. You cannot rely on fleeting bursts of energy, sudden inspiration, or the unpredictable rush of excitement to carry you forward. But routines, consistent, well-crafted routines, are unshakable. They are the invisible scaffolding of your life, the architecture that supports every success you will ever achieve. Wake up, train, work, study, rest, repeat. To an outsider, it may seem monotonous, even mundane, but within that repetition lies transformation, subtle and profound. Every day, as you follow the routine, your body grows stronger, your mind sharper, your focus deeper. The magic of habits is that, over time, they cease to require conscious effort. What once demanded willpower becomes second nature. You no longer struggle to act, you simply do, because it has become part of who you are. And when your habits align perfectly with your goals, when your daily actions mirror your deepest ambitions, success no longer feels like a distant dream. It becomes inevitable. The results you once chased begin to manifest almost automatically because you have built the system to produce them. Do not chase fleeting results or quick wins. Chase the routines, the tiny, persistent actions that shape your character, your work ethic, your life. In time, these habits will compound, quietly and relentlessly, building the future you once only imagined, a future that will feel less like luck and more like the natural outcome of a life lived with unwavering consistency and purpose. Chapter 6. Sacrifice for Success. Every dream, every goal that truly matters demands a price paid not in money, but in effort, sacrifice, and endurance. You cannot sit idly by and expect the life you desire to arrive at your doorstep. You cannot want it all and still expect to reach the pinnacle of your potential without giving up something along the way. Every step toward greatness requires choices, often difficult ones, where comfort and desire clash with ambition and purpose. You will have to say no to late nights at parties, to endless distractions, to the sweet temptations of laziness, to the warm, easy comfort that everyone else chooses. And yes, that path will sometimes feel lonely. There will be nights when the world feels distant, when friends seem to move effortlessly while you sacrifice, when doubt whispers that maybe this loneliness is too heavy to bear. But understand this: loneliness in the pursuit of purpose is infinitely more rewarding than the hollow company of mediocrity. To walk alone in the path of growth is far nobler than wandering with the crowd toward nothingness. Success is not free. It demands that you give up who you are today in order to become who you are meant to be tomorrow. It requires that you let go of fleeting pleasures and temporary comforts and embrace the struggle, the discipline, and the relentless pursuit of your vision. So ask yourself not, "What do I want?" The real, piercing question is, what am I willing to give up to get it? Are you willing to endure discomfort, isolation, and sacrifice for the life you dream of? Because if you are not ready to pay the price, do not expect the prize. Greatness always comes at a cost, and only those willing to sacrifice will rise to claim it. Chapter 7. The Dark Days. There will be days when the weight of the world feels unbearable, when every step forward feels like dragging a mountain behind you. Days when you feel invisible, unseen, as if your efforts vanish into thin air, unnoticed by anyone around you. Days when progress seems meaningless, when no matter how hard you push, the world feels cold, indifferent, and unfair. These are the days that truly test your discipline, the moments that separate those who dream from those who achieve. Because it is easy to remain consistent when the sun is shining, when life flows smoothly, when encouragement is abundant. But real strength, the kind that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary ones, is forged in the storm. It is built in moments of despair, in the shadows of doubt, when everything inside you screams to quit, yet you take one more step forward anyway. Remember this: no one will witness the countless hours you spent grinding in silence. No one will see the tears that fell in the dark, or the nights you lay awake questioning if it was all worth it, only to rise the next morning and do it all over again. One day, when the results manifest, when the fruits of your relentless effort finally emerge, the world may call you lucky. But the truth is, luck has nothing to do with it. Discipline is about showing up even when no one applauds, when no one notices, when no one believes in you, especially then. And if you can rise and persist on those days, through the exhaustion, through the doubt, through the solitude, you become unstoppable. You become someone who cannot be shaken, someone whose inner strength eclipses circumstance, someone who transforms struggle into triumph. Chapter 8. Discipline is freedom. At first, discipline can feel suffocating, like invisible chains wrapped tightly around your wrists and ankles. It feels restrictive, confining, as though every choice you make is weighed down by obligation. You feel tired, drained by the constant demand to push beyond what your body and mind crave. You feel as if life is passing you by, as though everyone else is indulging in freedom, laughter, and ease, while you are trapped in a cycle of routine, self-control, and sacrifice. In those early moments, discipline seems like a cage, a relentless taskmaster that leaves no room for pleasure or spontaneity. But slowly, as the days turn into weeks and the weeks into months, a profound realization dawns. Discipline is not a prison. It is not a burden to bear. Discipline is liberation, a freedom of the highest order. When you master yourself, when you decide to act despite resistance, nothing in the world can hold you back. You are no longer a slave to fleeting moods, to desires that distract you, to the temptations that once controlled you. Instead, you stand firm, grounded in your choices, your purpose, and your inner strength. Discipline frees you from the chaos of inconsistency, the guilt of procrastination, and the regret of wasted time. The disciplined person walks differently through the world. There is a calm, unshakable peace in their presence, a quiet confidence that comes not from luck or talent, but from knowing they have done the work. They have shown up when no one watched. They have endured when the world seemed heavy. They have sacrificed and persisted, and in return, they have earned their rest, their pride, and their self-respect. They know what it means to be accountable to themselves, and that knowledge brings a serenity no indulgence can ever provide. True freedom is not the ability to do whatever you want in the moment. That is illusionary, fleeting, and often destructive. True freedom is far deeper. It is the power to do what you must, the courage to act even when your body protests, the wisdom to follow your purpose over your impulses. It is the freedom to choose action over comfort, growth over ease, and excellence over mediocrity. Discipline does not confine you. It transforms you into someone unbreakable, unstoppable, and profoundly free. Chapter 9. The Power of Self-Respect. Discipline is not just about results. It's about relationship. The relationship you have with yourself. Every time you make a promise and keep it, you build trust with yourself. Every time you push through when you don't want to, you strengthen your self-respect. Soon, you'll start walking differently. You'll speak differently. You'll feel differently. Because nothing feels better than knowing you can rely on yourself. That's real confidence. Not the fake kind that comes from compliments or social media, but the deep, quiet power that comes from self-mastery. Chapter 10. The New Identity. At some point, discipline stops being a choice. It becomes who you are. You no longer have to force yourself to wake up early. You just do. You no longer struggle to stay consistent. It's simply your nature. That's the transformation. That's what all the struggle was for. You become a person who keeps promises, who works hard in silence, who doesn't chase comfort, but purpose. Discipline turns into identity, and when it does, nothing and no one can take it away from you. The legacy of discipline. Discipline is not a moment. It's a legacy. It's the invisible force behind every great life, every great story, every great achievement. You were not born to live a comfortable life. You were born to grow, to fight, to rise. And every time you push past your limits, you honor that purpose. So stop waiting for the perfect day. There will never be one. Start now. Start broken. Start tired. Start afraid, but just start. Because your future self is watching. And one day, that version of you will whisper, "Thank you for not giving up. Force yourself to be disciplined, and you'll discover the freedom, pride, and power that you've been searching for all along.